What's up, y'all? I was afraid of that. I was afraid of that. This isn't Planet Sandwich. But what's up, guys? I'll still do the little thing. Hey! I just realized I have nothing, I have no preset, like, images and setup for a non-Planet Sandwich stream, which I want to do more of. I just have Cloudy Arcade and Planet Sandwich. But, yeah. Hey, what up, P? Yeah, Planet Snack. A slider. This is a Planet Slider. Um, and it is in celebration of a lot, actually. Just kind of leaning into uh the part of the brand that is the traveler, you know? Um I'm going to be ranking. I have a tier list of all US 50 states, and then I'll probably do some outside of America. I had to find a tier list that didn't just have the shape of the state because I'm stupid and I don't know what some of them are. So I had to find a really basic one that had the name of the state next to it because I'm remedial, you know. Um, so I'm gonna rank and talk about every place I've been that I remember. Um, this is also in like I said, leaning into the part of the brand of traveler. Um, I was talking to P earlier, and I was just I was just seeing like how I was marketing We Trippin' and Black to Nature and all that stuff. And I realized that, from working at All Def and, being a part of this YouTube culture where these companies make something really, really good and then they have one trailer for it for budgetary reasons. And then they kind of move on to the next week. One big thing drops and then a trailer or two or like a advertisement or two. And I've been watching this Avengers rollout pretty closely, and I'm just like, man, these guys are like pushing stuff every day. And I know that's like a very obvious thing to say, but it's almost like when something drops. My example was Tom Holland. Tom Holland, his whole page is about Doomsday. He can't just put like, hey, here's the trailer and then move on. So we've been really breaking down a lot of the travel stuff. We trip in Cloud Quest. I've been really going through it and having a lot of fun with it. And I just realized how massive of an inventory of travel content that I'm sitting on. So it's just like, okay, for sure, I got to lean into this and really break it down like crack and show you guys, and so that when you see my page, it's a lot of that. It's not just a little thing here and there. Um, so it's a little bit of leaning into that. It's also in celebration of We Trippin' because we just realized we have 30 episodes up right now. Santorini, Greece dropped yesterday morning, and it was our 30th episode. Now, that does include two or three marathons that kind of don't count. But considering we thought it was around 14, 15 at first, um, yeah, I was just very surprised, and I counted a couple of the things in the backlog, and it's closer to 40. I think it's past 40. So I was just kind of like in disbelief that there was that many. What up, everybody? My bad. What's going on? Facebook. I was just looking at Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for pulling up. It's a little travel planet slider today. But yeah, it was just mind blowing. Of like, dang, that's a lot of places. So I have the We Trippin' um, playlist popped up. I also have the tier list of states. I'm gonna start with everywhere that I've personally been um, before we tripping. Um, and it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Most of it was, and the stuff I'm leaving out is like college trips, like seeing colleges. That's not really how you experience a place. Um, I'm leaving off like, yeah, educational, going to Gettysburg in middle school. Like I'm not including any of that. Um, I'm just gonna the ones that I actually experienced before we trip in, through just me and my family, through all deaf, my solo travels, my work with transit, a lot of that stuff. So let's do. I wonder if I even need a world one. Maybe just a North America one because I haven't been that many places outside of America. North America. Boom. Okay, this works. Oof, y'all gonna have to help me. Y'all are gonna have to help me with some of these. All right, let's do this. Before I do, I'm just gonna say what's up to y'all. What's up, everybody on TikTok, everybody on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Kick, if y'all exist. Um, I do play games. The only fighting game I play is Smash Bros, and I haven't streamed that in a while because I'm buns. And who wants to watch that? I'd be fighting bots. You hear me? With Pac Man. Who the hell wants to see that? But Marvel Tokon, I am all in. I want to see how good I can get before I inevitably give up because that shit's too competitive for me. All right, let's do this. Oh, and then once we get to We Trippin', hopefully Persephone can jump in here, whether it's her voice or if she goes stream, she streams too. And then we're gonna pull up the We Trippin' and we're gonna put them all on tiers. We're gonna be in tiers, you guys. All right, all right. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make up some stuff. All right, yeah, I'm gonna butcher. I'm gonna butcher this just cause. Okay. I was gonna make up so many excuses as to why I didn't have Europe on here, but we're just gonna fudge it. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with Young Pat. I have some stuff um hanging around. So the first real place I ever went to was Dublin, Ireland. Now this is not Ireland at all, but I am gonna make it Ireland. It kind of looks like Italy though, so I'm just gonna make this Ireland. Just gonna make up Ireland. Ireland was dope. I would say in the grand scheme of things, it was B tier. I went over there for a battle of the bands. Me and all my friends made a rock band. Me and all my friends made a rock band. It was called Somewhere Else, and it was a very like 2000 sound. It was like rappers with a rock band. That shit died immediately. I'm glad. I'm, the whole everybody pivoted away from that, but it was really really fun at the time. We won a battle of the bands. We just it was one of those things like we joined it. We didn't really know anything about it. We had no expectations, and then we won the American one, and then they sent us to Dublin, and we ended up winning that one too. And it was cool. We were just a bunch of young blacks running around the streets of Dublin at night, getting kicked out of every bar available because we kept getting rowdy and hey, that's crazy. I have like this thing where when I drink too much, I get sleepy. So I remember even back then, as a young 18-year-old tyke, it was like their version of McDonald's, and we were all lit because the drinking age was so young back then. And I knocked out in the middle of their McDonald's, and yeah, they left. and they came back for me, and I was like, what the hell? Did I knock out? And then there was a situation where I disappeared and they were looking for me, and there was this group of, because in Dublin everybody's drunk, right? Everybody's just drunk in the streets, and there was a situation where they couldn't find me, and then they found in a group of just drunken rowdy people with boxes on their heads just doing stuff. I was with them, and I was standing in a box, and it was just like people playing with boxes, cardboard boxes. But it was insanely fun. I was out there just with my friends running around, jumping in taxi cabs. It was great. But in the grand scheme of things, I would say B tier. Um, okay. Speaking of college, I've gone to Toronto a few times. I really like Toronto. Toronto's really good. The only thing is, I don't remember too much about the food. I remember the city, I remember the weather, I remember the people, and all of it was it checked the boxes. I really enjoy Toronto. I want to go back. And I remember thinking that it was like cool enough to live at. So I'm still gonna put it B tier because food is a big deal, and I feel like the Toronto trip was kind of on par. No, I mean the Dublin trip was way more fun, but the Toronto trip in terms of the city was more on par. HBCU Battle of the Bands out here in the South, man. I've been like invited to a lot of like the HBCU circuit, but I don't know. Like I have no reason to go and do a personal show because I don't do live shows. But yeah, All Def had a bunch of opportunities. We should have brought Roast Me down there. We should have brought our comics back there, down there. But it just, yeah, it never happened. Good seeing you at DreamCon. Hey, let's go. Shout out to all the people in the chat that I got to actually meet at DreamCon, which is so cool to put like names to faces. Um, no, they didn't leave me. We were just all like around, and I found a little corner, and the staff kicked me out, and then my friends came to collect me. Mexico. I did go. I went before we tripping, and that was a crazy time. I'm not gonna reflect the time that was had. It was fun. It was very wild. Um, but I'm going to just reflect on Mexico with We Trippin', because Mexico is done in a couple different ways. You know, you can do like the resort that you don't really get to see Mexico, and then you can do like an Airbnb or hotel and actually go out in Mexico. And I feel like the first time I went, I was out and about within Mexico, and it was a very different experience. We Trippin' was like in its own little like luxury bubble, but the first time I went, it was like, you know, you had to be on your P's and Q's, if you know what I'm saying. So I will not. The only other time I went out of the country before We Trippin' was Costa Rica, and I'm gonna give that its own flag too, unnecessarily. Well, wait, if this is no, that's Central America. I'm just gonna say Costa. This is Costa Rica because it's the Dominican stuff. Um, Costa Rica is A tier to me. The We Trippin', I feel like I would rather judge the time I went, the first time rather than the We Trippin' one, just because I think it was just like a more full time, in We Trippin', it was like a stop on the way to where we were going. But the first time I went to Costa Rica was with my brother and my dad for my 22nd birthday, and my dad's, he might have been, I don't know, he was probably in his 60s, yeah. Um, and it was so much fun because we were there for a week, and half the week was a hotel for my aesthetic, and the other half was a, a hotel for my brother's aesthetic. And I don't know why my dad wasn't included in that, but it should have been the whole week was his aesthetic. But it was like the first week was something that was more my style, and it was tree houses. It was a hotel campus that was all literal tree houses, and I'm not talking about like, oh wow, this hotel on the ground has treehouse vibes. Like, no, you are going down a dirt path in the jungle, and then it jets off with a little number like 1 through 10 or whatever, and you walk up to a tree, and there's a giant ladder, and you climb up a really long time. I'm wondering, like, because my dad's knees wasn't as good. I wonder if there was like a ramp or something. But I remember going up into that area, and it was like a small hotel with a couple rooms, but it was so dope. It was like in up in the canopy. You woke up to like howler monkeys screaming, and you saw all this like wildlife. There was like armadillos walking around and capybaras walking around, and that was like my vibe. We were out at nighttime with flashlights. Doing like little tours, and they were taking us to like armadillo dens and like all of these things safely. Like it wasn't nothing crazy. And there was like little local spots down the street that gave you like the classic like dishes. It was usually like chicken, rice and beans, stuff like that. These like their local beer. Um, it was really cool, but it was like out there in nature. That's why it was my part of the week. So there was like bugs and stuff in the hotel, and it was cool. And it was run by this like white family that relocated to Costa Rica and just never wanted to leave. So they opened that. I hope it's still going. But the craziest thing about it, which I also thought was the whitest thing about it, was they had like a honor system vending machine. They gave you like I don't know, I forget if they were beads or like nuts or something, but they gave them to you in your room, and you pretty much anytime you wanted something, you would take the bead, you would go to the vending machine, and there'd be like drinks and all types of stuff. You'd put this stuff in, and it would give it to you. And then I guess it would have given it to you anyways, but at the end you just say like, I had this many beads. And we were honest for the most part. I think we both maybe snuck a beer under the table. But just like, I don't know, that was just like a cool way of doing it. They probably lost a lot of money doing it that way, but it kind of like, if you're like me, just that system being put in place is you kind of just want to follow it. You kind of want to do it like that. And then the second half, if anybody knows my brother Ryan, from RCE Golden Hour, and if you've ever seen, I just get so many photos and videos of people that like see me at these parties because good for him, it's going viral. Um, he's the turned up one. He's the bougie one. He's the one with the designer. He's the one that he's kind of like, he's just like me, but he's the exact opposite of me too. So his half of the week was like, um, it was like a resort with these restaurants that was in the trees too. Even though it was kind of like, it wasn't, you didn't have to go up, but there's just all these trees, and monkeys and parrots would come up to you in the middle of your meal. And there was different hot springs that were like over 100 degrees each one. There was like 10 of them, but each one had like a degrees on it. It'd be like 198, 90, but they were all like insanely hot. But it was just nicer, and I think that system was a good way to not have to pay for that place the whole week. It's like, we're gonna do it like how you do it, Pat, and then get a little buffer, and then the second half of the week is like, okay, here's the expensive stuff. And I personally, I remember the first place more. Um, he said, "Dad, I'm getting too old for this. Young-ish Pat, come help and stop climbing that tree." Hey, it's funny that you say that, Senpai. It was kind of a funny moment because I was 22, and I'm the youngest of my kids. So my parents had me when they were older. I think they were in their 40s. So we were doing a jungle hike up to this waterfall, and my dad was struggling. I think his knees are better now. He had knee surgery, but back then his knees were struggling. So we had to like he it was so funny because it was up and down all these hills. He found a bench. He was like, "Man, take pictures of the waterfall." take pictures of the waterfall because I'm staying here. And that's what we did. We found this waterfall. I was 22. I did not do Pat Geo yet. I didn't even do content yet. So I was swimming in the water, which I would never do now. But I was swimming, splashing around in the water, all that kind of stuff. We was taking photos, and then we went back and we just showed him. But through my explanations, I'm gonna move Costa Rica up to the S tier, because that was just such a cool trip. That was the first time I ever went out of town with just. That was the only time I went out of town with just the like a boys trip. And yeah, that's got to be S tier. It's got to be. And then on top of that, you know, we went back and had an amazing time. It was only it's only one day, I think. It might have been two. I don't know. I forget. It might have been a full day and then leaving the next day. I don't remember staying for more than 2 nights, but we'll figure that out. Okay, we are finally into the states. See, I got this one that gives little names and stuff. I'm going to start with all of the places that I went to before we trip in, and I gotta start at the beginning. Nerd Pat, Blurred Pat, Awakened. Where are you? Where did. Oh, here it is. Louisiana. Absolutely S tier. I know I've said this story on a couple of podcasts. I don't know if I've ever told this story on stream before. But when I was way too old. I was way too old to do this. How old was I? I might have been I think I was in middle school. Yeah, I was in middle school. I went to video game camp in Lafayette, Louisiana. And that time I just went with my dad, and he stayed somewhere else, but I stayed in on this campus. Video game camp. I was the only black person. I was the only nigga there, and they loved me. They loved me. It was one of those things. It wasn't like a deep south segregation. It was like, oh, a black, a cool black. I love it. And I thrive around gamers. I thrive around nerds. I am both of those. So I took over that place quickly. I took over that place fairly quickly. My nickname was Mad Dog, not in a racist way, but in a cool. I don't really understand black people yet, but you're Mad Dog, right? And I thought, and then in the camp, you're supposed to get a team and make a video game. It was a 1 week thing, and you had to make a video game. And everybody split up the assignments and the duties. And by the end of the week, you have to pitch. That's so crazy. I was doing pitch meetings back then. Um, at the end of the week, you had to pitch your game, and the artist has to give character designs, and the musician has to give the music, and the designer has to give like the gaming code or whatever that is. And I guess the producer puts everything together, and I was playing piano at the time very heavily. So I was like, I want to do video game music. Video game music is my thing. But then when we got all these people together and we had our groups, there was a literal like musician that can play much better than me, and that was what he wanted to do. But the main thing was like, instead of fighting for that, like nobody had any direction in any way possible. Like everybody was super talented, but it was just like a bunch of shy people. Um, and I'm shy too, but I was just the least shy, and I had direction. So I was like, all right, I probably fit more into the producer. So I put the team together and just, I don't want to say ran everything, but I just kind of like produced, right? And we spoiler alert, we destroyed the niggas. We were so good. We had a working game at the end of the week. Everybody was. It was just supposed to be a pitch, but the programmer, he was like, I could make it. I mean, it's gonna be shitty, and it's gonna be just like a dude jumping around and stuff, and it's not gonna be. But like we went through all the animations, standing, running, sitting, jumping, and it actually happened. So we made a game. I gave up the music thing, and I was like, this fits me more. And we had a playable game, at the end. We pitched it, we played it. It looked crazy. It looked like I don't know if y'all have ever played that game with it. It was like an old school arcade game where everybody had like they were on ostriches. What was that game called? Hey, chat. 100 points to the nigga who knows what that is, and without googling, it was a very popular game. Joust, joust. Why do I turn around like I have the game? Arcade joust. Yeah, joust. Okay, 100 points to me. Joust. Yeah, it was just like a I mean, there's a bunch of arcades that look like that. Just a bunch of platforms, and he was jumping around. We had a playable game. I remember the lead character looked like the dude from Hawaiian Punch, the Hawaiian Punch guy with the red hair, and it was just like, damn, we smoked them. And I remember there was a Mario Kart tournament that I won also, and then also that's where I discovered World of Warcraft, and I brought that back home to my sister, who's like a very avid World of Warcraft player now. I think she's gonna start streaming it soon. Um, so that was huge. But a cool thing was like, first of all, this was in Lafayette, Louisiana, in the middle of nowhere, on this campus that was super far away. My dad was kind of staying in the city, and I was just walking around the campus at night. There was frogs everywhere and toads, maybe toads because it was on land. Um, and then the biggest part was that on breaks, I would go. My dad would pick me up, and we would go to New Orleans and eat. And the food in New Orleans, it's like one of them. It's There are cities you go to, and they're like, yo, there's this one spot you got to go to, and there'll be like 3 to 5 popular places in a city. This is one of those places that just everywhere has good food. It doesn't matter. You don't need Google, you don't need maps, you don't need a BuzzFeed list. It's literally like you just point somewhere and you're gonna get the best food ever. So I think that and every time I've been to New Orleans, I remember going to the New Orleans Mall. I know I said I wasn't gonna count the college things, but like I just remember getting all my cool like little doo doo daddy fake chains with the spinning whatever and the big jerseys. I just like the vibe of Louisiana, and I don't really remember it too much outside of the Lafayette trip. Um, but the fact that the food, the experience, what I learned there, definitely S tier. I will not be spending this much time on every location, by the way. That was just a very very cool story as to why I've been there. Um, Places without um, where we at? Where we at? Where is it? Is this in alphabetical order? What is re? Oh wow, I can't. Yeah, I can't read. Okay, New York. New York is also S tier. New York is I've been there a bunch of times cuz my brother used to live out there, and it was one of those places that the first 4 or 5 times I went there, I was like, "What's the big deal? This is just a dirty ass city. This is just a dirty nasty city." And then it clicked. I don't know what it was. I think it was the first time I left Manhattan, cuz I was always in the touristy areas. I was always in like Manhattan, where Times Square is, Hell's Kitchen, and it didn't click for me until I went to Queens. When I went to the boroughs and I had pizza in the Bronx, and I actually ended up in the projects of Queens late at night once. I still don't know why I had the survival skills of a marble at the time. Um, Wildin', wildin' in another city, but been there a bunch of times to visit my brother. Been a bunch of times with All Def. We did the TBS comedy festival there. Um, Very very cool city. I love New York. We actually just went again with our friends this year. The food out there is amazing, and I just actually like. I understand the city life now. I understand. Um, even Manhattan. I love New York. And then we got to party in Brooklyn last time we were there and meet a bunch of DJs. It was fantastic, and the food out there is phenomenal. I was out there eating lox and bagels. When the hell have I ever done that? New York will change you in the best ways possible. So yes, New York is amazing. Um, Georgia, where you at? Georgia. I'm just gonna get the easy ones out the way first. Why am I having trouble with this and it's alphabetical? Like, what is going on, Pat? Georgia, Georgia, man, Georgia, Georgia has a special place in my heart. Okay, Georgia, Atlanta specifically, was really the first place that I saw the effect that all death had on black people. You know, LA is very mixed up. It's people from everywhere. It has like people that are kind of like everybody comes to LA to do something. So, people show each other love a little bit differently out here. When we went to Atlanta, every time, I'm just going to talk about the first time because that was the surprise, but it was like the entire city loved us. The entire city lifted us up, and it wasn't just like a hey, good stuff. It was like a genuinely like you felt like your black cousins and aunties and friends was everywhere. Um, Georgia is so amazing. I can't say enough about the people. I got to film something with the HBCUs for Hyundai. Um, and I got to kind of just learn about the history by filming like a bunch of like renowned black owned or black historical spots out there to learn it in a whole different other way. Um, Georgia owes me nada. I got to experience the college life over there. The big band performed for us, and it was just like it was such a beautiful experience. We got to shut down. We shut down the streets, popular streets, the streets with Martin Luther King in the middle. We were shutting down the street to drive this Hyundai around, and the purpose was just taking black comedians to learn about black history. Oh, so so beautiful. Georgia. I don't know too much about anything else besides Atlanta, but yeah, I gotta start with that. Atlanta is the best. Um. Okay, we did all that. Okay, last one before we trip in is Alaska. Now, Alaska is going to change once Steph jumps in here. So I'm gonna say Alaska was A tier. I went with. It sucks because it's like the reason I'm going for all these places is so fun. It's really hard to bash it in any way. But I think it just has to be the comparison. Alaska was nah, fuck it. Nah, this is S tier. I can't deny it. Alaska was S tier because it started everything, and I can't deny that. I had the pleasure of being invited to Haines, Alaska, by the good people over at Transit. They had just done 3 episodes of a environmentalist travel show called Black to Nature. They shot one in Joshua Tree with Tony Baker. They shot one in New Mexico with Tahir, and then they chose me to shoot in Haines, Alaska. Um, I missed the flight. I completely missed the flight. I overslept, and since it's such a random um, place in Alaska, there wasn't a lot of flights. So instead of me getting there on the travel day and then everybody getting settled and then me being the star the second day, the only person they needed to shoot, which was me, wasn't there the entire first day. So I had to fly in on the shoot day. They were so upset with me. I got like the first flight out there. I had to stay. You know what? Actually, no. I caught a separate flight the same day that I missed it, but they couldn't get the little plane over to Haines in time, so I had to fly to Anchorage, and then I stayed in this little motel that they could find, and I kept all my clothes on and slept on top of the blankets like an assassin. Right? I was in there like a mercenary, and I slept. And first thing in the morning, I took a little dinghy plane, which was so scary, over to this small port called Haines, Alaska. Super, super in the middle of nowhere, not a big population at all, bears everywhere. It was like it was known as the Bear Highway of America or something. And it started everything. I mean, it was like literally my dream, even though I was on camera. In my dream, it was like Anthony Bourdain, I'm directing this travel show. But for whatever reason, things worked out to the point where I was the talent, you know? So it's such a cool experience. We were chased by bears. We caught fish. A fish came on me. Um, you know, we had an we and we ended up having an amazing piece of content afterwards. That happened in 2023. It's 2026. It's just now getting steam under it. We showed it in DreamCon. People loved it. We're talking to environmentalist groups about it now, and I remember being the least traveled person on this show. My producers, the cameraman, they all traveled the world, worked for National Geographic, been around the world doing everything, and I had the list that you just heard. Everything that I just named was everywhere I'd been at that point. Um, and yeah, I told them, I was like, by the time we do this show again, I'm going to know my shit. I'm gonna be well traveled. I'm gonna have a space in the travel community, and I think that I did that. I really did that. Haynes happened the same year, probably within the same few months that Cabo happened, which was the first We Trippin'. And I'll bring Persephone to talk about that. But this is a perfect segue because, yeah, I told, I just talked to Brendan the other day. I told him that the next time we do this, I'm going to be well traveled and I'm going to have a name in the travel community. Now, I only did one of those two things, and that's my fault. I became very well traveled, but the only problem is that I released all so many different types of content that when We Trippin' came out, instead of using this gold mine of things that we shot in making a bunch of things that you guys can see, I did it the classic way, the way I was taught. The make take all of this footage, make something that's solid and amazing, have one or two, you know, things that say go watch, and then move on to the next thing. Um, what I didn't do was stamp it that I'm out here. I'm out here. We tripping. Just dropped its 30th episode. We have about 10 to 15 in the tank. Um, we have been a lot of places. Right here, I have the 30 episodes up. And yeah, I'm gonna see what P wants to do, and then we gonna jump right into it. Let me see if I'm just gonna get her on Discord. Okay, she just said call in Discord. Her watching like a sniper. Check, check, check. Hello. Oh, is it still calling? I think it's still calling. All right, I will tell you that all of these cities will not be in S tier. Okay, I gave you guys a lot of origin stories. You know, this one was the origin story of me as a producer. This, you know, some of these was my origin stories with All Deaf. Some of this was my origin story as a traveler. So it comes with some sentimental stuff, but not everything will be in S tier. Uh,
Pat?
hey, what up? Can
Hey, what's
what it do?
happening?
Your mic sounds
What's happening,
different.
man?
What kind of mic are you using?
Yeah, I'm on Bluetooth. I mean, AirPod.
Oh, okay. How much
Does that
time you
sound
got?
okay though?
It sounds different, but we
I'm
got it.
good.
We got a
Where you
raid.
at?
All right, for
Hey,
sure.
come
Hey,
on.
W raid. Let's go. Lean Cuisine, what's up? We got a legend. What's up, y'all? We're doing a tier list of everywhere we've traveled to celebrate Santorini, Greece. We tripping episode coming out. But also
Yeah.
just ranking all of these spots we've been to around America and the world, and putting them on a ranker, but also talking about them a little bit. So welcome. Uh,
Hmm.
Welcome everybody. So P, I was just telling them that I went to Alaska to shoot Black to Nature, and I told everybody on that crew that I was gonna start traveling being well traveled, and in that same few months, we dropped or we went to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
Yep, Cabo.
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh man,
Not for real.
that
Yes.
was a time.
So uh this started because our birthdays are so close to each other. Her birthday is September 1st, my birthday is September 2nd, and that was Thick Threads podcast had just started. We just launched the channel, and we had worked throughout that summer. And then by the time our birthdays came around, we were like, let's celebrate the start of the channel with a trip. And I'm fresh out of Black to Nature. I'm hungry for like some type of travel show because I've been studying Anthony Bourdain since 2015, I
Okay.
think.
You
Um,
introduced me to Anthony Bourdain. Bourdain.
mm-hmm. No, for real. So we went to Cabo, and I was just like in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't want to shoot this like a vlog. That's what everybody looks like. I want to shoot this like it was on travel show. So I remember the moment we got to the place. I think it was the Waldorf. Yeah, it was the Waldorf.
Yes.
I just started. It was so beautiful. I just started shooting B-roll of everything. I was just like B-rolling it up, all the views, the hotel, even like simple stuff like the check-in, little things. I don't even
Me
think you
too.
knew what I was doing.
No, I did. I did. But I didn't really know what I was doing. So I was just filming everything too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And we had no concept of we tripping. We didn't even have a concept of traveling a lot. It was a birthday trip, and it was great. Cabo is I mean, the Grand Waldorf is top tier. It's S tier immediately, but for me, just
Absolutely.
the vibe of Cabo and like I said earlier, the first time I went out there, I was on the beach and within the within the locals, and getting robbed by little kids and
Oh,
real
not
Mexico
getting robbed
stuff.
by kids.
Well, not
Yeah,
really, not
I've
really.
been to Cabo before we went as well. And I had a really good time. Really, really good time. So it's still S tier for me, even with, going through the city and everything.
And the food, um, the they treat tourists good and bad depending on where you at.
Hmm.
If you just kind of
Hmm.
like a loose leaf tourist and you look like a lick, you might get slimed. But
Right,
if you within like
right.
a staff of like a good spot, they'll definitely take care of you. They'll definitely take care of you.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Mexico is S tier.
Yeah.
Going up the list, we got Laguna Beach.
Hey, Laguna Beach, S tier.
You think Laguna's S?
Absolutely.
Okay, why?
So look at where we stayed, right? Um, Laguna is known for like clear waters, coves, beach caves, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Clear skies, fresh food. It's a pretty high end area,
Mm-hmm.
and it's beautiful. Viewpoints everywhere, and the food was phenomenal. So the trips that we've taken, and that I've also taken to Laguna, I have had nothing but an amazing time in every aspect.
Yeah, same. I think that Laguna had a lot going for it. I feel like you can't deny the fact that Laguna is close to LA, and like getaways that are not that hard to get to automatically add to how cool it is. I know that means nothing to y'all in terms of like cuz y'all don't live near it. So you would have to do a lot to get there. But from an LAer's point of view, Laguna Beach is a very quick getaway. The food was so good down there. Our experience specifically was fun. I think one of the memorable spots was like a cave that you can hike to in the beach, and it's like the water is like coming in and splashing against the rocks in the beach, and
You got
it's
squirted on.
I got what
You got squirted on by the ocean.
by the ocean. You mean I got splashed? That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, Yeah, I remember that. It was like a, and it's usually super crowded, but it wasn't anybody in there for a couple seconds, and then people showed up.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think compared to everything else, I would put Laguna at A. But the only thing is that we're going state by state, and this is California we're talking
Okay.
about, and
California is definitely S tier.
the next episode is actually Catalina, which also is in California. So honestly, those two together, as far as the state, is definitely S tier. I mean, I'm from California. I would never
Yeah,
put it anywhere else.
right.
But in terms of the trips, I would say Catalina is S tier.
Because even not being biased, right?
You said
We
what?
had a couple of. I said we're both from California, so we might have an inherent bias.
Insane bias,
However,
yeah.
however, without the bias, the places that we've been to in California have been breathtaking. So
Mm-hmm.
um, we have a few other trips that I guess we're going to talk about a little bit later in California that kind of add to that S tier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it is kind of unfair because we're from here and there's so many places in California, so we might as well skip ahead and talk
Hmm.
about that too. So we got
We got San Diego and we got Carlsbad.
oh, Napa counts too.
Hmm.
Okay, so you know what? California is S tier. Let's just say that across the board.
Yep,
Big baby, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. California is S tier as a state. Now we'll
for
go
sure.
place by place. So for Laguna Beach, um, I know that that was the place that had them Brussels sprouts that you kept getting.
Hmm.
And I love Laguna Beach. I thought it was great.
Oh,
I just think between how much time we spent there and the activities, I mean, it's hard to beat a private cave, but I would put Laguna at A. I would put Laguna at a strong A only because the S tiers above it don't match up. Now I know
do you
that's not
think that
fair
if
for you.
you would have spent a little more time in Laguna, that it could have gotten to S tier for you?
No, because as of right now, and I had like a whole review before you jumped in here. The S
Mm.
tiers that I had were like life changing. So there
Mm.
was like an extra little juice to edge them out because
Oh,
honestly,
okay.
I just don't want I want them to have to compare to each other because if they just compared to how fun it was, I feel like everything would be
Yeah.
S tier. So the only thing we got to
Okay.
do is so I mean for S tier it could definitely be for you. I'm just comparing it to other stuff that I
Okay.
did
It's
before.
definitely still S. I'm holding the S.
Yep. I'm gonna say the next one, which is Catalina, also California. That was that wasn't our strongest episode in terms
And we
of
had so much fun there. Oh,
yeah. I was just saying it wasn't our strongest episode because even still we didn't know what We Trippin' was. I
right.
remember we shot Cabo a certain way. Then Catalina happened. Laguna didn't have Laguna was released first, but Catalina actually happened first. And it was like a trip. Our friends pulled up. It was still a birthday trip, but our friend it was closer, so our friends could pull up. And we shot it a little bit wonky. It wasn't we didn't
Yeah.
know what We Trippin' was. We kind of shot very sporadically. I was hanging out with my friends, so I think Steph shot most of it, and
Hmm.
just grabbing moments and stuff. But we weren't in like travel show mode. The reason I love Catalina was like at the time it felt like like a trip to like Europe or like
Right.
overseas, but it was close. And that was the
Carolina
whole
is awesome.
yeah, that was the whole point of We Trippin' when we finally made it was like, dang, like between work and just not being able to, go to Rome and Africa every other day, we're like, let's make it relatable, not only to us but to a lot of people. Let's see where we can go within a small amount of time that isn't too far away, and it doesn't even have to be too crazy. Like we didn't want to do the normal stuff. I've always looked at maps as a kid, and I would look at Maine, the little head of America, and I'd be like, "What the hell are people doing over there?" Like, it's not even like going to turn up. It's like I just want to kind of like walk around in certain places. So that's what birthed We Trippin', and I think that uh, Catalina was exactly that. Um, we went there.
Mhm.
It's like this island that has all these boats parked in it, so it kind of looks like
Right.
Italy, and it has like
Mhm.
all this like stacks of houses with the island, and we got this giant place for us and all our friends that overlooked everything. And I remember
Most
talking to
people there don't have cars.
yeah, there's no cars allowed. Everybody's driving on golf carts. Oh my god, it's so cool. And
Yeah.
the reason why it is fully S tier for me, I
Oh, S tier. Okay.
oh yeah, Sentimental too. I went there with my family as a kid, and I remember them having the best chicken strips ever. We just did like a day trip. You don't even have to stay
Chicken
there.
strips or fish and chips?
No, it was chicken strips because when I was
I thought you said it was fish and chips when we were there.
nah, when we actually went, we had the best fish and chips. But when I went as a child, I had the best chicken strips.
Oh, okay, got you.
I wasn't eating no fish and chips as a kid.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, it's just like a inexpensive getaway. If you're in California, you'll feel like you're on the coast of whatever, and it it really is like that. Like at the time when I was told that, I had never seen it, but now that I've
mhm.
actually seen some stuff out in Europe, it does have a lot of similarities. And
Yeah.
we talked to these old people who were like, they said they spend their birthday there every year, and they were like, we've traveled around the world. That's what we spent our life doing, and this place reminds us of the south of France or something like that. Something very
Right.
specific, somewhere I've still never seen. But
Right.
I just love the fact that we can get something like that so quickly, and just like
Hmm.
a quick trip that you don't have to take a month or 2 weeks off to experience.
Right. And it's local basically for us. So if you live in LA, it's local.
Yep.
It's A tier for me.
A tier. Okay, I can feel
A
that.
tier, and I'll tell you why. The only reason that makes Island A tier for me is because pretty much everything closes early.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're still, young, you want to get out, you want to have a night out, because I mean you're on vacation.
Yeah.
It's scarce, so everything starts closing quite early. So you kind of have to like, you don't have much of an option to do much at night.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you had like a little bit of a wider option or variety of things to do at nighttime, I would have put it at S tier.
I agree. I think so. I think that's a big part of it. I think that's a big part of us learning how to travel too, is realizing that
Hmm.
if the point of the show or the point of your vacation isn't to turn up, it's just to see certain towns, and especially like
Hmm.
small towns and stuff. Like coming from major cities, most places they don't be up that late. There's no monetary reason for the businesses to be open, and you kind of have to take that into
Hmm.
account. Because when we were going to Miami and Vegas and all of these major cities, there's stuff to do 24/7. But you go to you know Catalina, Haines, Maine, a lot of those things, it's done by 8, 9 o'clock. So you kind of
Right, because
gotta
we were almost stuck. Weren't we almost stuck? And
yeah.
at nighttime, like we almost had to walk up like a huge hill because everything had closed, and the person who drives the carts wasn't available. I don't know how we got them, but we
Hmm.
got like the very last ride back up to our hotel, or else we would have been pounding pavement
Yeah, and
all
that's
the way
like
back
a
up a huge hill.
that's a pretty
So
specific problem too.
that's just if
Like
you're out late.
no, I mean a lot of the places to stay and the hotels and the Airbnbs in Catalina are actually down there within everything. I think we just
Mm,
sometimes you just choose. There's a couple options of hotels that are kind of up in the hills that have the view,
right,
and a lot of those hotels have services of drivers and stuff. So you kind of just have to
right,
figure that
right.
out. That's not like a island wide thing. A lot of the people we knew. that were local. They just kind of walk to their thing, so you can get around that in some areas. But for the most part, the place everything closes early. But
That's true.
what makes up for that is it's very like aesthetically pleasing. The town is really cool. The food we remember being amazing. I remember there being like Steph said, fish and chips that I still haven't like
Mhm.
nothing's beat it yet. And like they have like random activities like obstacle courses in the trees. They had zip lining.
Mhm.
They had like adventure games. They had a whole beach cabana party area with a DJ that you can get like little
Mhm.
tables. There was canoeing and scuba diving if you wanted to do that. I just feel like it's such a hidden gem that
Mhm.
if you constantly are going to California and you kind of want to know something or do something different, all you got to do is drive to Long Beach or San Pedro and get on a quick ferry over there. You can have a day trip out there, or you can, have a extended trip out there. But every time I've been out there,
Supposedly,
A1.
supposedly, there's a side that we haven't ventured to yet that really looks like Santorini. I saw
So
a couple of I saw a couple of posts about it, and I haven't been. I realized I haven't been around the whole island. We
hmm
did that safari tour,
oh yeah, there's bison
where
randomly.
yeah, yeah, but I don't. I think we may have maybe gotten close to the other side of the island, but I think that there's another side of the island that we haven't even seen yet that looks even more like, Amalfi Coast or Santorini or something like that. So
You said you
it's
saw
worth
pictures of
looking
this?
into. I saw an Instagram post and everything that was in it. I was like, the side we're on doesn't look like that. The side we're on kind of looks like Italy,
hmm
but it doesn't look like Santorini. And the Instagram post that I saw looked like Santorini, but they said it was Catalina
uh
Island.
wow.
So, and they said it was like a hidden part of Catalina Island. So
Yeah, I
they
heard
might have
about
even
that.
more. Mhm.
I thought it was only camping grounds though. They say that there's the main
Mm.
part where the tourists go, and then there's a part
Uh-huh.
that you can only reach by like kayak, and people kayak with their camping gear. And I was like, that sounds awful.
Oh
Like,
wow.
yeah, but I don't know. If you said it looks like Santorini, there must be boats over there and stuff. But yeah, that would be
I
cool.
think we should do I think we should do a deep dive and figure it out because it's only a couple hours away.
Yeah, that's like
So
a
we could get a week trip in on the hidden or the secret side of Catalina Island.
that would be cool, especially since that was like the second thing that we filmed, the third thing that we put out. It's almost like a return to Catalina, because that was 3 years
Hmm.
ago. Awesome.
Hmm.
Okay, love that. I love that for you. I hate when you say that. Do it.
I love that for you.
All right, Big Flo, not the little one.
Florida?
Florida.
Ooh, I really like Florida.
I love Florida.
I like the humidity.
Ah, Florida's
I
so
like it
dope.
all. Our skin was just glistening in Florida. I feel like even though Florida is like home to the most psychotic people in the world,
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like the atmosphere, the views, the activities, everything there's the Florida gotta be S tier. Florida's S tier. And
I agree.
there's a part of Florida that we haven't even been to, the side that like DJ Khaled's house is on.
The
You
Keys.
know, yeah, we ain't even been to the Keys yet. So I know like there's um there's just so much that we haven't even explored. Florida, south of Florida is S tier, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, just judging based off of Miami, I feel like the food is always so. I
Hmm.
love Cuban food. Um,
Hmm.
the heat hit me at first, but I actually learned to like it, and it's just pretty. Like it looks like a tropical, a more tropical LA. Like it looks like LA, but with because it has palm trees and stuff, but it also just has like junglish vegetation, and it's just
That's
like,
where we had Bill Hart.
mm, okay. The only thing is that I feel like Florida gets a bad rep because it is so pretty and it's so popular. people come to Miami from out of town, and I know this because LA has the same problem. People come from out of town and wild out, and people think that Florida sucks, Miami sucks, and a lot of times
Right,
it's spring breakers, people who come from other areas, and I know that the
right.
Hurricane Katrina misplaced a lot of people. Um,
Oh, to go from Louisiana to Florida.
yeah, and there's just there's a bunch of cities in the South around there that got like a influx of people, and there was like tension and stuff. So um, I know that a lot of the bad rep of niggas wildin', it's not reflective on Miami locals. Same with LA, you know. Um,
Right.
but yeah, Florida. I mean, it's a little wild for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's a little too much going on. It might be a little too busy. To me, it's like L.A. Looking like the people look like L.A. and the place looks like L.A. But the busyness and the turned upness is like Atlanta and New York. Um,
Right. But it's S tier because there's so much you can do out there, and the
mm-hmm.
view is so beautiful. The water is beautiful. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a city called Clearwater, Florida, and it's beautiful there. I went to the beach there with one of my besties. She took me there, and I was like, I didn't even know Clearwater existed, and it was just I did a whole like beautiful photo shoot, and I used one of them for my calendar.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so
Would
I loved it out there.
would you put it in S tier just based off of Miami?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. S tier it is. All right. Next up is Niagara Falls, Canada.
Ooh, I give Niagara Falls A tier.
I'm giving Niagara A tier as well. I think that it's definitely something that everybody should go to because it's literally a wonder of the world. I think that
Right.
Niagara Niagara surprised me in a couple different ways. I thought we were just gonna pull up, see the falls, you know, kind of like do things around. I mean, that's actually what we did, but the just looking at it is kind of trippy. You know, it reminds me of the Acropolis, like the fact that it's just in the middle of this city where people live, but it's just like, is everybody looking at this? Like, this is a big ass waterfall. Like, it isn't just like it's. Imagine like a beautiful waterfall in the jungle, you know, like the regular ones, how you just kind of like look at it and it's like, man, that's cool. And then multiply it by like 1,500 and it's just like constant. So you could see it from your room, you could see it from restaurants, you could see it, walking around. It's just like this insane
Yeah.
centerpiece. And then it's not just the waterfall, like that giant waterfall dumps into this giant other water area and then it falls from this huge area. Like I droned over it and it looked like, I don't know, it's just fascinating.
I feel
Um
like we found everything that we needed to find in Niagara Falls that would have made it the best trip possible. From
yeah.
where we stayed, like you already talked about the view, being able to see the view from everywhere we
Mhm.
were at. So we saw the view, we ate the food, we found the activities to do. We did the helicopter ride over it. They say you can come in different seasons and it'll look completely different. And
Mhm.
so I think that we talked about considering going back when there's like snow and stuff like that. So it's a
Mm.
whole different vibe. So I think that we made the most. We maxed out our trip for Niagara Falls, and I think that giving it an A tier is definitely deserved.
Yeah, I think and it's close. It's close to S tier and I'll tell you why. We found so many cool things to do out there. I didn't really know. Sometimes it's like, you think about like Egypt and the pyramid. Well, that's a bad example. You think about some of these places that have like the Grand Canyon, and you're like, man, you go there and you look at it, you walk around in it, but it's like, is the Grand Canyon like? What's the food like? What do like? There's like other questions besides just looking at something. And a lot of vacations, amazing vacations, are you going to look at something. But when you're filming a travel show, we notice that the places that we go that's all about scenery are just a little bit less. It's beautiful. It's a great visual experience, but the activities and the food. play a lot of parts into it. So we were really surprised at how good the food was. We found this local like street filled with games and arcades with like mirror mazes and all that stuff. I know the mirror maze was Branson, but it was kind of like a similar it was very similar to Branson and just like a bunch of video games and mazes and stuff. Um, I thought I had a lot of fun
Yep.
in Niagara Falls.
Mhm.
The only thing that I think edges it out of S is, like you said, I think we made the most of it. You know, like I feel like we fully experienced Niagara Falls. I'm not sure. I feel like the only reason I would come back is to see
Yeah.
it in a different season, but everything else in the S tiers that we have so far, I would go back infinitely. You know, like
Yes, absolutely.
Florida, Louisiana, New York, like that's like an infinite place. And this one, Niagara Falls, I feel like we hit the nail right on the head. We even got to like
Yeah,
DJ,
I think that
change the
the
colors
only
of it.
thing, yeah, the only thing that we would do different is see a different season.
Yeah, because we got to see the Fourth of July fireworks in the
Right.
boats that you wear the poncho
Mhm.
because the water was falling, and then they took us
Yeah.
up to the lighthouse where you can change the color of the falls, make it red, make it purple, make it blue. Like I didn't even know they were
And
doing
we
that
got to
out there.
control that.
Mm-hmm. Got to DJ.
So it was cool going up to like a completely different side. And during our what was that? Our tour guide just brought us up there, and
Mm-hmm.
then we got to like DJ the lights on the Niagara waterfall. So that was actually like low key top tier experience. That
Mm-hmm.
experience is kind of S tierish, you know. So I see what you found with it being close to S tier. So I agree.
Mm-hmm. So, quick question, Steph. When we went to Maryland, Annapolis, and we hitchhiked,
Okay.
and we went to that
Yeah.
other place, and
From
then we
St.
hitchhiked
Michael's.
back. Yeah, that was all one episode.
No, so I think that we did a small episode for St. Michael's, if I remember. So
It might not
I think we
be.
did,
Isn't done? Damn, did we
or
not count it?
we could have, we may have attached it to the end of Maryland because we also did Delaware. What was the name of that Halloween festival that we went to? It was
Um.
Frightland,
Oh, Frightland.
Frightland in
Yeah.
Delaware. So it could have been attached to Frightland in Delaware.
Hmm. I can't believe I couldn't believe that would be. I mean, it is 58 if 52 minutes, but
Yeah,
that was a lot. I thought we split it up.
I don't think St. Michael's had its own episode. I think it was attached to one of the two because we only spent one day in St. Michael's and we only spent one day in Delaware. So,
Only one way to find out. Oh yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Delaware isn't here.
but we could have done just Frightland. I know we did an episode of Frightland on its own, but I also think we attached St. Michael's to one of
We
those.
did. No,
But
no,
I
no.
think that's
It
what
is all in
we
the
ended
same.
Maryland. Yeah,
It is all the same.
yeah,
That's crazy. We would have
yeah.
never done that nowadays.
No,
That would have been three
definitely not.
episodes for sure. Um,
Mhm.
okay, so I guess that is Maryland and Delaware.
Yeah, Maryland and Delaware. I'm giving B tier.
B tier. Whoa. Okay.
I'm going B tier. The only reason why I say B tier is, I mean, I don't think it's for everybody. You have to be a certain type of person, I think, to really put it at S tier. I think it has some beautiful views.
Mm-hmm.
The food was really good. Um, as far as activities are concerned, um, I don't think there was so much activity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Frightland was one of the best. It's still in the best of anywhere, any Halloween. haunted house or anything that I've been to, Frightland is probably the scariest that I've been to outside of 17 Doors. So I think for each one of them, and maybe it's not fair because we only spent one day in Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's more to do and we just didn't get to do it. I'm sure there's a lot more to do and we just didn't get to do it. But um, yeah, just for the experience that we had, I think it would be considered B tier. And then Maryland was really cool. There's a lot of history there,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the food was really good, and there was a ton of cemeteries around. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
every time we turned around, there was another cemetery somewhere. But I felt like it was a really cool place to visit, but it's more if you're like into history and stuff like that. But we got stranded out there. I think a couple times.
Mm-hmm. And that's
After a
exactly
restaurant, like we couldn't get home. Like we almost got a ride from the cook or something like that. You know?
that is exactly why Maryland and Delaware are A tier for me. Um,
Mhm.
I think that Maryland was exactly what I feel like an adventure is.
Mhm.
We didn't go for a big event. We didn't go for
Right.
any big parties. We really just went to see the culture and walk around. And I feel like with Maryland, we kind of threw caution to the wind and really adventured. And it wasn't even like crazy stuff. It was normal stuff. We found out what a water taxi is. And what that is you just hop in a taxi, you pay a fee, and they take you to your boat or a restaurant on the dock and stuff like that. And we just hung out with the water taxi guy. We were like, we're not going anywhere. We just like this experience. It's like a New England water town. And we were just going to dropping people's boats off. They're like, where are you going? We're like, nowhere. And we were just going around. And then on top of that, we booked like an inn in these weird like archi- archip-
I call it a
archipelagos
motel.
archipelagos or whatever it is. There was just a part that was like separate away from the city. It was like in one of these super nice, it wasn't an island. They were like these like peninsulas. And I was just like, where is this? Like it was kind of off the grid. The Uber that took us there was like, be careful because there's no Ubers. I'm taking you outside of the Uber radius to drop you off. I can't get you. I don't think anybody can get you. And we were like, cool, man. And we just
But we
kind of,
met some really cool people.
no, it was great. We went to this random town, St. Michael's, and we went around. We hung out with like a bridal shower, and
Yeah,
we
they just loved us.
we went to a crab
Mhm.
shack, and it was just
Mhm.
like we didn't really know. I had to edit. I was editing roast me in the host in the hotel. Like it was just like a very memorable thing. And then we got stuck out there to the point where the chef was about to take us back, and then I think we lucked up and found at the front desk a card of just this lady. She wasn't a part of Uber or anything. She was just a lady with a van that took people places. She didn't have any taxi credits. It was just lady in van takes people places. Sounds like a horror film, but it was our only option. And we got a ride. We rode in her van from all the way to Delaware. And then Delaware was another one of those places where it looked like nothing was happening. We were walking through just barren towns. We walked through the school.
Wait. What was your tier? What was your tier
A.
rating
I put
for
them.
Maryland?
I put them both
Oh,
on
you put
A.
them in A.
Yeah,
Okay.
because together it was probably one of the most authentic experiences in We Trippin' to me, because it wasn't very like we were very safe on We Trippin', especially as we went. But at the time, we was just like, take us here, take us here, take us there. And I think
Yeah.
that that is something that number one we can't do as the show gets bigger, but it was just like a very authentic town to town thing that we probably would never do again because of the stranded part. But the fact that we learned this way and we were just a bunch of like hobos in the wind is was very memorable. And then the fact that quick thing about Delaware. the food was amazing. We found this little pub by the river that had really good food. And then just like how things happened, it wasn't checking TripAdvisor and stuff like that. Oh, what are the top 10 things to do in Delaware? We went to a bar where the it was a very animated bartender, and they told us about a Fright Fest, a Halloween carnival in these in the in like
That was
a
such a
cornfield.
great bar. That was
Yeah,
such a great bar. We had so much fun,
the
and there was
them
other black people
tacos.
in there too.
There's other black. Yeah, that was like that was one of the first times we went to another a whole other place, and the only other black people were like knew who we were. Um,
Right.
but yeah, we just got a tip from the locals about this Halloween spot, and we went. It was in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a cornfield. There was a gang of people there, and it was the scariest Halloween event I've ever been to in my entire life.
Yeah,
Um,
that Halloween Spriteland was the best, the scariest. I mean, they have real cornfields. Like we
yeah,
tried. I think that was the first time we had like a fried PB and J too. And
fried
that was
PB and J.
fantastic. Oh, that
That's
was
right.
so good. And then
Yeah.
they had a haunted house that was just all dark. It was all dark, and the only reason where we knew where to go was because there was like a small light at the top that would show us basically we were going in the right direction. But and then there was people that were like sticking their hands through like little windows and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it was terrifying. The fact that you just could not see anything, and so they just had stuff like that. The what is it? The trail ride? No, not trail ride. The cornfield hayride, the haunted hayride
Mm-hmm.
was just incredible. We walked through, you know, what was it? Graveyards and with scary stuff. Like it was insane. That was a really good. Okay, so for Frightland, you might be convincing me because of Frightland specifically. I might bump Delaware up to an A tier.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the in terms of scary mazes, even though I go to Universal Horror almost every year, that's not scary. The top 3 in no particular order was this thing at Delaware, the 17 doors where Steph you almost drowned, and then the actors one where the guy in our group died. You remember that?
Yes, absolutely. I remember that.
Okay. All right, moving on. We're going to get through these next few pretty quickly. Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine, I freaking loved. So that's where I think I would put A tier.
Okay.
I might even, it's like SA tier.
SA tier?
You
Wow.
know,
Let's say AS tier.
AS. AS tier. No, I really liked Maine. Even though like I really liked our little Airbnb where we stayed, it just felt like we were getting, like you said, for Maryland. I felt like for Maine, we really got the authentic experience. And
Yeah.
I just really, really loved it there. I
Yeah,
can't
you're
even put
right.
my finger on it why. It was just the vibes were just so cool.
I love New England.
Like,
I just love the vibe of like a ocean town that like loves crab and lobster and stuff, and there's lighthouses,
mhm,
and it's kind of everything you think of when you think of like Family Guy and all these like Rhode Island, New England cities and stuff. And
mhm.
I bumped it up when I thought of the food tour where we shucked oysters and had lobster rolls, and they ended in the chocolate area. But also just like there was random stuff, like we got stranded and stumbled upon a park that was filled with wild black rabbits. You know, it's just like what the hell is happening up here?
Yes, that
What
was so freaking
what
cool.
is
And on
going
the other
on up
side was
here?
Canada, wasn't it? On the other side was like Vancouver Island or something like that. It was like from that part, there was like a big body of water, and on the other side, I think was Canada, right?
I'm not sure.
Wasn't it? I thought it was.
That's not Seattle.
No, 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 no,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
no.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay, I see your A. I will put it in A. And plus, like I said earlier, as a
yeah.
little kid, I always wanted to know what was going on in Maine. Plus, we ate a fire lobster roll on the way out.
Oh
Lobster
my
rolls out there are
god.
like hot dogs. It's not like super expensive. It's just like there'll be little carts and trucks that do lobster rolls because they're so popular out there. So it's not even like a
And the clam
uppity
chowder.
thing.
The chowder.
Oh, the chowder,
The chowder.
the
It's
chowder.
so good.
All right, Seattle, Washington.
I really like Seattle. I ain't gonna front. Seattle, I'm going.
B.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
B. No
yeah,
offense. We okay. First of all,
yeah.
Seattle was our favorite layover spot. We had layovers there a bunch of times. Most of them were because something bad happened with the flight. So we were kind of like pulling up already irritated. But Seattle turned it around with. I mean, first of all, the first time we were there, it was very stressful because we had like some issue with the plane and the airline handled it terribly. So we ended up like staying in Seattle, but we found this massage parlor that was the shit. To this day, that old Asian lady got things out of my shoulders that I can only imagine.
You
That
got
was
bent like a pretzel.
that's crazy to say.
You,
Um,
you got hooked up. I think your massage was a lot better than mine was, but I mean,
hmm
I got what I needed from it. But I know Pat left out of there
floating. We have
floating like
we
a feather.
we even have like a little go-to place out there. There's this hotel that we stay at every time we're there. Amazing food. The grounds are just amazing. It's like cherry blossoms and rivers all throughout it. Seattle is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. I do remember going to the Needle
The
for
Space
dinner. The
Needle,
Space
where you
Needle.
were terrified.
It was pretty scary, but the food there was blah. We didn't even eat it.
Ugh.
We
That was
just
when we went the second time, right? We had dinner reservations
yeah, but
there,
that
and they gave us a buffet, and it was boo boo.
yeah. So I guess a big thing about the Needle that we can't leave out is that if you have dinner reservations, which are really hard to get, they put you in um, the top part. If you just pull up, they put you in the bottom part, which is still up top, but they give you buffet instead of a menu. And at the time, really still, but at the time, we were really just winging every trip. We didn't plan nothing. We went out there, we looked around, we said, you all available? And for some reason, for 30 episodes straight, we always got slipped in somewhere. This time, no, it did not happen. The reservations had been booked eons in advance. Um, and we got stuck in the bottom part, and the food was just. I remember we filmed it. It's in the episode. We were just like, yeah, no way. Um, but other than that, Seattle's beautiful. Love the people. I mean, it's like one of those cool towns where it's like people are listening to Nirvana, and this is the first Starbucks ever. But I
They
think,
was doing fish in the marketplace and stuff. Kind of cool. They got the first Starbucks, right?
mm-hmm, yeah, they were throwing the fish and everything. Almost got hit by a fish. Yeah, we should change that.
Yeah, you did.
All right, Vancouver,
Drive by
Canada.
fish.
Vancouver, Canada.
I love Vancouver. Us here. I love Vancouver. There's shit to do at nighttime. There's shit to do during the day. I love the landmarks, the viewpoints, everything. Vancouver is one of my favorite. Oh, it's one of my favorite places that we've gone. I really like Vancouver. Strong
Yeah,
S tier.
yeah. Same. I think Vancouver was the first trip in the We Trippin' lineup where we extended. Did we extend in Niagara Falls?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so it's the second. It was the only the second time we extended our trip. Um, yeah, it's the food was so good. We did a tour, so we learned about it. We did the
Mm.
suspension bridge. We were there
Mhm.
during Christmas,
Mhm.
so we went twice. One was dark. I mean, one was light. One had the Christmas lights. This walkway where people exercise, and it's just the water was fire. There's totem poles in there. There was lighthouses. We then jumped off of a tour, paid the guide
Yeah.
and just did our own thing. There's like a little island
Stanley
area
Park.
that you can hang out. Vancouver, and we've been
Stanley
back
Park was the
since.
best thing
Oh
ever.
yeah, Stanley Park. There's so much
Stanley
stuff to
Park.
do. I feel like there's
Mm-hmm.
dead bodies in there. Um,
It has to be. Remember we found some shoes, some
oh,
abandoned shoes.
yeah, we found some shoes and nothing else around. But what's great about Vancouver is we actually every time we go this to these things, we sort of see the day life and the nightlife. We might go to like some local spots, but we don't be clubbing in any of these areas. If anything, that's where niggas go missing. Uh, but we had the pleasure of coming back with some of our friends from Vancouver, and we fully experienced the nightlife. I mean, this chick was like it was like she was like a boss out there. She knew everybody from every club, every
Oh,
bar. She was walking us from every single one to another.
people took us in and we got a free drink everywhere
Yeah,
we went.
everywhere she
It was
went, there was
like
like, hey,
next
they gave us
stop,
all
free drink.
drinks, and we
Mm-hmm.
we were getting into everywhere. But then they told us afterward that it's such a small city that the party scene is very small and everybody knows each other, which is I could see how that could have some issues down the line. But yeah, we had a great time, nightlife, daytime, nighttime, all that kind of stuff. Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Jackson Hole is one of my favorite places.
Listen,
Jackson Hole, that's why Jackson Hole is one of my favorite places. I
Jackson
really
Hole
like Jackson.
is one of the biggest gems. Everybody, everything on this S tier before this is obvious. Maybe besides Alaska, but Louisiana, New York, Georgia, California, Florida, those are very popular states. Wyoming was that first place we went that's like, I'm going to have an interesting opinion for the rest of my life because nobody would expect Wyoming to 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 be a favorite place of ours, and this is like a place that we've been back to since, like, and it sounds so random. It sounds like a place that black shouldn't be, but I
Right.
guarantee you, if you like the snowy
Oh man.
vibe, but not too busy, good food, amazing skiing if you're into that. We were more on the
That's S
snowmobiling,
tier.
we went dog sledding for the first time. Jackson Hole is
Did
such a
we get on
dope
the snow
spot.
coaster there? We did the snow coaster and
That might have been Sun Valley.
Valley, Idaho. We did. Did we? Okay.
Wyoming was snowmobiling,
Snowmobiling.
snowshoeing.
But remember, we had a competition between the snow coaster and snowmobiling, and which one
On the
you would
same
like
trip?
better.
On the same
Yeah,
trip? Okay, so then yeah,
yeah.
that must have been Jackson Hole then.
Because we also did the tubing.
Oh, that's right. I think Sun Valley was just the snowshoeing, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yep.
yeah,
Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Oh yeah, and we had a bison glizzy. We had a glizzy
yep.
made of bison. Um,
Jackson Hole is S tier for me.
okay, Sun Valley, Idaho.
Sun Valley A tier. I really liked. I really liked a lot about that trip, from where we stayed to the snow, the snowshoeing. It got really cold there. I think the first night we were out, we were not prepared for the cold. We were like California cold prepared, like
Uh, was this
snow in
before?
California.
Was this before Jackson Hole?
Yeah, I think Sun Valley. Yeah, we went to Sun Valley before Jackson Hole.
Okay, so this was like our
That's where we
introduction
bought all the
to.
stuff. Yeah,
This was the introduction to being cold as hell, and yeah, that's where I bought. Yep, I
yeah.
still have all
It
these.
was 8 degrees.
I still have these pants and this jacket.
Remember, we stepped out. We went outside at night.
I'm
And we were
struggling.
walking down the street, and it was 8 degrees. And we had on gloves and stuff, but our fingers were freezing through the gloves. And we found this little convenience store, this little general store that just
Mm-hmm.
sold like little trinkets and stuff. And they had like some gloves and some headgear and stuff like that to keep you comforted until the next day when we actually went shopping for cold gear at a place that I think was like right down the street from our hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
And it was like, okay, we needed we needed to do that. You bought some slides. I think you bought some like snow slides, the green ones.
The snow slides, yep.
Yeah.
And food wise, fondue was like everything out there. Everything they gave you,
Mhm.
you dipped in cheese, which I thought was unique, but it wasn't like my favorite food. But I'm
Yeah,
I'm
because
looking at
they
this. I'm looking at the
ugh,
snowshoeing right now, and yeah, I mean it was so beautiful out there, and the fact it was like you said, it was our introduction to cold. And honestly, we're not big skiers. I think we decided that we might ski or snowboard here and there, but it's just it's such a skill. I can't film while I'm doing it. I just have to focus on not dying. Um, I'm just not interested in the extreme stuff really. So this was just like a
yeah,
very
no.
chill. We was just in the park gallivanting. That's just what we be doing,
Yeah.
gallivanting. So it wasn't too much going on. I think it's a really cool getaway if you like the snow. But overall, damn, our wrap ups was half the video back in the day. All right, so yeah, A tier. A tier works for me.
Definitely A tier. For sure.
Um and yeah, this is it's a lot. So if you have to hop at any point, Steph,
No,
just let me
let's
know.
keep
Okay.
going.
Um Denver, Colorado. Let's do some of these quick.
Okay, Denver, you know what? I have to do D tier because just from our experience, not I can't really give a great, I guess, review of Denver just based on our experience. We were out there. I had the flu,
We were sick.
and
Yep.
so we didn't really get to experience anything outside of Meow.
I
So
yeah, I enjoyed Denver. I think the food was cool. I think what we did was cool. We pretty much kind of like walked around, saw the city. Um, uh, Steph was very sick. She got sick on the way over there, so we didn't get to do much. We did get to do Meow Wolf when she felt better, and it was a great time. But I would say based on the situation, I would put Colorado at C tier. Actually, no offense. I actually really enjoyed
take
Denver,
that. I can take C tier.
but I
Yeah.
think that Seattle, we've been multiple times not sick, and we made a lot of memories there. Denver was very in the grand scheme of things. Denver was down there. Fairbanks, Alaska.
Oh, I love Fairbanks. Oh man, Fairbanks. I would say because I I checked off a bucket list item, I have to give it an S tier
Immediately.
immediately. I have to give
Yeah.
it an S tier. Seeing the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, was nothing short of miraculous. I loved
Yeah.
it. It was beautiful, and it also it was safe. It was two niggas driving in the middle of the freaking woods
Mm-hmm.
at 3 o'clock in the morning, chasing the Northern Lights, and we were still safe.
Yeah.
So we got to check off a bucket list and be safe and just get just like the vibes out there was really cool. We had to use an outhouse though. That was
I
tough,
pooped
man.
in a frozen outhouse. You
Yeah,
hear
my
me?
booty hole was freezing.
Literally icicles out the booty hole. Um,
I selfied some of it, but I haven't posted it anywhere.
that's kind of
Cause
crazy.
I
Yeah,
mean,
don't tell people that. They'll
yeah,
check your iCloud.
yeah,
But yeah, I think that it's kind of like if you go to Niagara Falls to see the falls, it's gonna be there. You will for sure see it unless you don't go. The thing about Fairbanks was that it's like it's a place where you're most likely to see the northern lights. But if it's cloudy, if just something's going on with the sky, there's variables. Like you went out to Iceland or Norway or wherever you went and didn't see it. So I think that the fact that we went up there, we got to see like holy shit. If you Google the North Pole, a city pops up out there that's we have to go south to, because the North Pole is like it's all water. It's not Santa's house. There's no land. So when you actually Googled the North Pole. The place that has that address is in Fairbanks, and we were miles north. We had to drive for like 30 minutes south to get to the North Pole, and it was like a Christmas town with Santa's house. So even though there wasn't like too much going on out there, we still did very cool things. Like we stayed in a cabin. We went to an ice museum. You know, we ate at a a Mediterranean spot that had good curry for
Yeah.
some reason. You
They
know, like
actually called it the North Pole, right? The Santa's house. Isn't that
yeah,
called North Pole?
yeah, the North Pole. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was saying. Like the North Pole
Mhm.
was south, and
Yeah.
the fact that we actually got to see it, we could have gone out there and been like, oh man, next time. But we got to see it,
Yeah.
which is not only rare because we saw it
Very cool.
very well, um,
Yeah.
and then you know
It picked
Alaska,
up better on the camera.
yeah, definitely better on the camera. But I think that's kind of how it goes. And I'm sure there's sometimes it's brighter, but the fact that we got to experience that definitely S tier. So Alaska's all good with me. All right,
Mhm.
that's the end of the first season of We Trippin', which is summer, winter.
Yeah.
Um, no,
Yeah.
sorry, that's the end of the third season, low key. Then we go into Colombia.
Columbia was great, man. Columbia, I gotta give Columbia S tier, man. Columbia is
I
very
don't.
pretty.
This is not Colombia's flag. I don't know what flag this is. It's very cool, but I don't know what it is. So I'm just gonna put Colombia on here.
I love
Cause
the culture out there. It was like there was views, there was history, there's a lot of
mm-hmm.
culture out there, and I thought the stuff that we saw. I mean, the views. What was that called where we went and we walked? Oh, I don't even know
Oh,
how
it's
to
a festival.
explain
So
it.
basically,
Yeah.
what she's talking about is we went out there with the travel group. Shout out to Top Shelf Getaways. We went out there with the travel group, and we actually stopped at Costa Rica on the way over there. We went to Colombia. They invited us to kind of just like hop around. We went to see. We stayed in Medellin. We went and saw these like parachuters, and they told us that the we were almost up next, and they told us that the wind was weird, so that we couldn't do it. So thank God we didn't, because imagine that trip could have gone terribly left. But we got to see it, so I got the footage. You know, I wasn't about to do it anyway. And then we went to like this huge area of favelas, you know, favelas. And there was just like all these streets with all this art, all these vendors. There was parades, um, and then on top of that, we got to like hike up this really interesting looking rock that had hundreds of stairs, and we made it. And then we ended everything with
Mm.
like a party on this yacht that had like all these rappers and stuff, and it was just it was a great time with friends. I'm putting it at A though. I will put it at A, and I'll tell you why. Um, the experience was completely unforgettable. I enjoyed that trip a lot. Um, but I do agree with what the founder of Top Shelf, Sir Darius, said. He said the food was lacking, and I don't think that's a Colombia thing. I think that's just where we were eating. But usually when I'm completely out of my element in another country, it's very hit or miss. It's either mind blowingly good food or weirdly bland food. And I wouldn't say that the food was bland out there, but it left something to be desired a little bit, you know. Oh, did we lose P? I think we
So
lost.
no,
Oh,
I'm here. What did you say? What the last thing you said?
oh, I was just saying that the food wasn't the best.
Oh, yeah, no. In Colombia,
Yeah,
no, no, it wasn't the greatest.
and the thing that
And
the every S tier that we have so
yeah,
far is has either amazing food or a life changing event that happened. Um, and yeah, I love Colombia. I feel like if I go back, I would have I had an insane amount of fun. but I feel like the food was the only thing that keeps it from S tier. All right,
Yeah.
DreamCon was next. That's Houston. I
Dreams
wish.
immediately S tier. Let's put Dreams on it
I
S tier.
mean,
We have,
Texas is
I,
just it.
yeah, we got to put Dreams on it S tier.
I mean, Texas was. I think Houston is one of the best cities ever. I think we went to DreamCon in Austin also, which was great.
Mhm.
Um,
I think that is the Austin episode. The
oh, was it?
DreamCon episode, yeah.
Okay, I would put. I mean, either one
Last,
was either one was S tier. The DreamCon
yeah.
experience is one of a million. You know, like
Hmm.
it's literally like if you're a content creator, it really validates all the work you put in. You know, it's like it's basically what I said about Atlanta. Like people are just insanely ready to tell you that you did good. You affected their lives in some type of way. And not only that, I feel like besides it being hot as balls, all the food is good. We were just in Houston. We stayed an
The
extra day or
food.
two and we had
So freaking
the
good.
best restaurant in We Trip in history that belongs to Houston in my book. Um, Even after reminiscing
Yeah.
about all of these, I think that, and it could be biased because it was recent, but Texas is
Nah, that food was
all the way.
nah. That food was oh, what was the name of that place? The Not Samada. It was something like that though. That Mexican
Oh,
fusion
Zapata,
restaurant.
Zapata,
Zapata.
yeah,
Yes. Oh my God.
top tier.
Fantastic. Yep.
All right, these next few are going to be very, very easy. Uh, California for Napa Valley.
S tier.
Napa was one of the best places I feel like I've been out of all these.
Very, very cool. We got to go to a castle. We saw animals, or like I like to say, aminals. Um,
interest,
we got
interest.
to go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, we did the wine train. The food on the wine train was really good. The whole vibe was everything was really, really good. I even think we did not a canoe. Um, what
Oh,
was that shit?
kayaking. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kayaking. Yeah, we
I
went
totally forgot about
kayaking.
that. Yeah, we went kayaking in
Yeah,
the Napa. That shit was a
Napa
swamp.
Swamp.
I think that like Napa might be one of the things where one of those cities that I don't have to go back to. You know, I feel like I 100% it. It was amazing. It was like we did the tours of the castles, the train. Um, we did the hell no hot air balloons. We got to
Yep.
bike through the vineyards. Like it was literally
Yes,
everything
I
I ever
came
wanted
in. You made
to.
me fall.
Yeah, everything, everything that I
Yes.
wanted to do in Napa Valley was done and recorded. So I feel like, in terms of Napa, 100%. Carlsbad, California.
Yep.
Carlsbad was an interesting
Really
episode because
bad,
it was like
man.
we had to go back. There's two cities in We Trip in history that we had to go back to. You know, we haven't done the second one yet, but sometimes, and we just got to chalk the L up to the game. Sometimes you go to a place for a specific reason and you realize that that reason isn't ready yet. For instance, like if we had gone to Fairbanks and
Oh,
if we had gone to Fairbanks and there was no Northern Lights, we would have to try again and stuff like that.
C
Um,
tier for
the
that? You brought us
Carlsbad,
all the way to C tier?
I did. Are you watching?
Yes, I'm watching. Are you
Oh,
kidding me?
I do put it in C tier, and here's why. I think we made the most of it. We went once to see a flower field, and the first time nothing. They opened it, but nothing was. There was no flowers yet, which was interesting. You would think the season opening is like come in and look at these flowers. It was like no, come in and look at this dirt though. Um, I think that it was for a misstep on their part that we had to roll with. We made the most out of it. We went to a music museum. We found good food, and then on top of that, it was close enough where we could come back. Um, Shout out to the wig. Let me see this wig. Boom.
Oh, don't bring up the wig, Patrick.
The we trippin' wig.
Why would you do me like that?
The Ursula.
Oh
The
man,
Corella
that
Deville.
might be my worst wig that I think I probably. Oh, not there. That wasn't bad. That one. Oh,
Damn, I'm trying to find it. Here we go.
I think the bangs was attached to the ponytail.
It looked like you got two wigs on. You got looked like you got a wig and then a ponytail wig. It's pretty funny.
And
Um, but it's okay.
man,
I'll let her rock. Um,
listen, you ain't never gonna let me live that down. You laughed at that wig, so I'm so glad I had other options. Oh,
so here was our pivot though.
don't pause it right there. Do not pause it right there,
Oh, you must be behind.
Patrick.
I'm pausing it on on the sign that says San Clemente. I did pause it on a
Oh,
couple of
right.
crazy things, but
Questionable.
right now it's San Clemente. So we adjusted by going to like three other cities. We went to San Clemente, which if you don't know, we didn't know. We were just passing through. It's a coastal town. It has Spanish influence. Everything has like this Spanish architecture, and okay, that's a good one. And it's beautiful. This place was beautiful. It has like a amazing hotels. I would definitely come back to San Clemente. We only got to spend
Yeah,
a
we
little
can. We
time
we
there.
talked about that, and they had food, good food.
I was about to say, who was filming us? Yeah, this was the Pixie days, my little Pixie drone.
Hmm.
Um, but it was cool. I mean, I feel like Carlsbad itself was a C. San Clemente was a little
Yes,
bit better. I would put
yes,
that as a B. San Diego, I would also put
agree.
as a B. But
Diego.
these are all just kind of quick things that we went to. We went to this. Oh, and then we came back. We came back. Well, we stopped by San Diego, and we were at this restaurant. It turned out to be a gay restaurant, which was hilarious because I had a rainbow shirt on, and
It was really cool. He
I
was
was like,
super
uh
gay.
oh, I was like, uh oh, but it was cool. They were nice. They were extra nice to me. You know what I mean? Ally. Um, yeah, we got to cook these like I don't know they were called like Egyptian rocks. We got to cook our own steak and look. I pulled up with a macro dose shirt. And I was like, oh, oh.
Mm, fit right in.
All good. It got us in quicker. You feel me?
Yeah, we ended
Um,
up meeting the owner of the restaurant and stuff.
mm-hmm.
Like he was really cool, and he
Yeah,
told
he
us
was cool.
about when they changed the what you call it, the themes, when they changed the themes to like, I think the next theme was like a butterfly theme.
Is there a hi hat going on in the background?
Yes, yes, I got stuck in
Said
an
Pat
area
was
I
in
didn't
his
want to
element.
leave and
Shut your
lose.
ass up.
I was in his experiencing his Christmas sky.
I grew up in a performing arts school. I like gay people. We get along.
Listen, I'm here
I don't
for it
have no
all.
problem.
I think you're definitely you're cool with everything and all of that. Guys, he's
Um,
not gay.
oh yeah, thank you for the clarification, Steph. But at this part, we kind of came back. I don't know if it was just. I think it was the same year. I think we just came back a couple months later. And we saw the. Damn, we went to Oceanside too. We we really padded this episode, you guys. We went to three other cities. I don't remember the Oceanside
We should
part.
have went to Legoland. Legoland was like right behind
Oh,
our
for this
hotel.
restaurant. Oh, we had the campfire drink here and the creamy soup. Ooh, and the black salmon. Oh yeah,
Listen, it was a
there
good
was great
trip.
food here. I think
It was a
that
good trip.
individually, Carlsbad was probably a C. A couple of them might have been a B, but I think that with everything fused together, I think it would make it to a B. High B. I'm gonna put Carlsbad in B because that episode had 10 cities in it. But Carlsbad by itself, I love the flower field. I would recommend going. But I think it would probably rank around here. But California goes back up here because I would never leave it down there.
Did you say when we went to the flower fields the first time and none of the flowers are bloomed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was the first thing I said.
Wait, you gotta put. We gotta take the California got to be S tier. You know what? Let me chill out.
Wait, you said California ain't S tier?
Is
It is.
even though? Oh,
I think
oh, you just
I
said
don't
that
think
just for
you're
the time being.
yeah, I think your live might be a little behind. I
I'm
think
behind. Oh
yeah,
shoot.
because
I'm
your
on.
Discord is instant, so you hear me
Oh,
uh
okay, got you.
immediately.
I
But I
see
think
it
that
in the S
the
tier
live,
now.
yeah, I think you're live. So
Okay, my bad.
um we don't even have to talk about this one. Where's it at?
What
U
Vegas?
Utah.
Ooh, S at top.
Guys, Utah is one of my favorite states. Utah is top 5 favorite states.
Period.
Um,
Period. 412,000 views. That did really good.
oh yeah, I mean, aside from how well the episodes do, Utah, we've been back since um, we stayed in a cave. We literally stayed in an Airbnb that was made with dynamite. He blew up the inside of a cave and made it an Airbnb. Um, we drove past some of the most beautiful. This Utah was so beautiful in terms of scenery that we didn't even eat crazy good food there. You know,
We
like
had to drive through a creek though.
you said, what? What?
I said we got to drive through a creek though, and I love that.
We got to drive through a what?
A creek. Remember we drove through the water in the
Oh,
creek?
we got to drive
That
through
was
a creek
awesome.
though. And wait, what's that got to do with food?
Oh, you know what? I think there was like a sorry. I was responding to all the stuff that you were saying that we got to do. Like when you were
Oh,
talking about the Airbnb, and I just jumped in to add that we got to drive through a creek too.
mm.
So
It do look
that
like
was like,
Mars. It do look like Mars. It was pretty white. But this wasn't really like a
oh,
very social trip. We were in a cave, you know. We talked to the people who owned the land and the people who tended the horses, and there was a nearby restaurant that was really good too. But it
yeah,
was like the food didn't even matter on this trip. The experience, the drives and the areas we went to, the mountains that were made of clay and looked purple, um, everything, the
mashed
giant,
potato meatballs.
yeah, the mashed potato mountains, the red Mars looking cliffs. Utah is, and it's just like one of those magnetic fields, so it feels different. It feels spiritual. It really is alien. Um, yeah, Utah is S tier for sure.
Utah's S tier. We were pretty much off grid. You know, the stars were insane. Like it was like a dark sky reserve over there. You know, we barely had internet. They had like a little jam. We got to do like a little jam session
Uh huh.
because they had all kind of like instruments and speakers and stuff like that. They said that they host concerts and stuff like that. Um, and they invited us back to blow up some rocks so that
Yeah.
they can create some more cave homes.
I can't believe we didn't take them up on that.
I know we tripping. We
Like
tripping for
we
real.
tripping is crazy. Yeah, we actually could have seen the dynamite process, and that would have been insane. I'm still gonna hit them up. See if see if we could do that. Costa Rica.
Yep.
All right, home stretch. Damn, there's not a lot left. Home stretch. Costa Rica.
S. S.
I didn't know how you were gonna because we were there for so short.
Mm,
So I talked about
S.
Costa Rica when I was in when I was a kid or when I was
Thumbs in the
22.
chat.
Um, but I already had it in S. We only stayed
Yeah.
for a day at a place
Mm-hmm.
called the Peace Lounge, But I agree. S is across the board. It was one of those places that had good food, but it didn't need good food, because the rooms had like jungles in it. There was animal sanctuaries on the literally on the grounds. You know, you can go into a butterfly dome that's filled with butterflies. You can go into a frog dome that's filled with frogs. We saw leopards and ocelots. Like it was like, what? This is just near the room. This is
It
near the
was,
people.
yeah, that we saw parrots and all kind of birds, and it was just the it was very, very, very humid,
Mm-hmm.
humid and hot, but it was the food was good, the vibes was good. Um, I don't know. I just Costa Rica. I want to go back 100%. Even though the one day we spent there for me is S tier, I feel like there's so much more that Costa Rica has to offer. That S tier is the only tier that it would fit in.
Yeah, we had a leopard feature on our travel show, like a real leopard, and you know some of it looks like behind the glass, like obviously a tourist uh, took this, but some of I'm trying to find it. Some of these shots, I'm like, ain't no way we own this footage. Like it's like this leopard is beautiful. Let
Right?
me,
We
let me,
did that, and they were separated, and you could tell that he was like staring at her, like trying to find where she was, and it was really cool to see. Like when he woke up. Do you remember that, Pat?
mm-hmm. Yeah, so there was two leopards. I think it was a male and female, and that's what she's talking about. Yeah, but like, look at this. Look at this. What?
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I couldn't help but think like, damn, this shit is like right on the grounds. Like
Right there.
if this shit escape, that shit will be scratching at your hotel door.
Yeah, and we thought that it did at
We
one
thought
point in
it.
time because
We heard
it
it
was
roar.
darker than, yeah, it was darker than what you see here. It was much darker when we saw them. So it
Oh,
was almost nighttime. So when we were walking back to our room, we heard the like roars and stuff and it was a little scary, and we were like, maybe we need to get back to the room.
oh my god, I
It's
forgot.
very
We yeah, there was a
possible.
volcano.
Yeah.
We went to a damn
Uh huh.
volcano.
Yep. We went to the volcano.
The ravioli was fire. Look at all these birds and butterflies and everything. Yeah, this was great. I shot a music video and had the leopard in it. Like this was a great time. S tier for sure. S tier for sure. All right, final stretch. Sedona, Arizona.
S tier. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm rating everything as S tier,
I mean, if
but
that's
it
how it
deserves
was,
it.
I ain't gonna
But
lie and
Sedona,
say
oh
a crappy vacation was S tier. Air,
man,
we been
Sedona.
choosing them.
Yes, Sedona was fire. We went for our birthdays. For my birthday, I think I got three massages in one day. You know, we had a jacuzzi on our patio. Like it was like the food was awesome. It was just like it was very grounding there, very spiritual. Like
Native
it was
American
awesome.
grounds.
So
Yep.
yeah, the views were everything. Like, and then for your birthday, we did the off roading, and you know, on our drive out to go to Phoenix. Like, it was just it was stuff to do, but it was also super grounding. S tier, 100%. I
Yeah.
have actually nothing bad to say about Sedona.
Yeah, I think that I felt the same about certain parts of Alaska, like places that have Native American grounds, which I guess is weird to say considering this all used to be. But I'm just saying, like strong Native American grounds to the point where it feels like a spiritual portal. It's just like I don't know. It's almost like the difference between phone chargers when you have like a really strong charger and you're like, damn, that should charge my phone immediately. It's like it charges your body in a different way. And even though this was a chill trip, with the aesthetic was everything. Like we went to the like she said, it was these places with like these clay looking I want to say pueblas. I'm sure that's not the right thing, but very Native American southwestern traditional homes, and they had a guide there that loved our work and took care of us, even like helped us with stuff off grounds and stuff,
And
and
he was so
he
cool.
was insanely cool. And then on top of that, it was a very relaxing birthday, but it was also like there were some activities. We did the whole helicopter thing and flew over flew around the Arizonian mountains. Great time. Love Arizona.
Very, very cool. The only
Um,
thing we were afraid about that actually didn't even end up seeing were really big ass spiders. So the
mhm.
good thing is we didn't see any. We thought that we heard some, but we actually didn't see any. But that was the only thing that was kind of scary about that trip.
All right, final. How many is this? One, two, three, four, five, six. All right, yeah, I thought it was final five. All right, almost done. Massachusetts. Good old
Uh,
Salem.
Salem. I'm gonna put Salem in C tier.
C.
I'm gonna get Salem a
Okay.
C.
Okay.
It was cool. It was cool, but I think my expectations exceeded a lot. I enjoyed my time there. I think we always enjoy our time there. And
Mhm.
we filled it up with stuff to do, and we had a cool time. And there was a lot of people that was out there for Halloween.
Yeah.
I just thought that there would be a bit more. So for my expectations, I think I expected a little more than what we got there, but I still had a good time. And I really liked our hotel. We stayed like in a witch themed room, which
Mhm.
was pretty cool.
Which was pretty cool. That's funny.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like I just liked it a little bit more. If I were to put it next to something, I would put it next to Seattle, Colorado, Denver. I do remember having a good time in Denver, but I also remember like going to the haunted hotel in Denver and that whole part of it. And I feel like in terms of like the scariness, we got a little bit more out of that with Salem. And I think that with me, the reason I would put it in B, because I agree that in terms of a trip, it was probably well, I take that back. I feel like I would more relate Salem to Seattle in the sense that it's like I like the place. I don't dislike the place. And I don't dislike Denver either. But I think that it was kind of like a bucket a lowercase bucket list, you know? Like it was like a lowercase bucket list because Salem, the witch trials has always been a thing. Hocus Pocus, all of that. It's never been like a dream of mine to go to Salem, but it was cool. And the fact that we spent Halloween there
Yep.
um, was kind of
Halloween
cool.
was there was a lot. It was just it ended so early.
Yeah, because they were so over it out there that they shut it down at like 10 p.m. So yeah, we were kind of just walking around in costume. It was cool. Uh, we took a couple tours and went to the torture museum and stuff, which was I thought was really cool. And I mean, I don't know. It's hard to make Halloween, especially when everybody's into it. It's hard to knock that. I love the spooky, stupid music. It's a monster mash. I love seeing everybody's costumes. Yeah, I just enjoy that, and it was actually it was interesting to me to go out there and realize that there wasn't that many witches that were killed, and the locals and the people around Salem are kind of over it. Like that was an interesting part to find out too, because you kind of just think you're walking into Hocus Pocus, and they're like, "Welcome to Halloween Town," but for the most part, they're just like, "Yeah, we're kind of enough, guys. There's not even that many
Yeah.
witches that died over here. That
I
was
feel
in
like it was
Europe."
like I feel like it was like right. It was like 14. But I feel like it was like 10 o'clock, and the police were out like, get your ass home.
Yeah, the
Like
police
find
were like,
somewhere to go
"Go
because you can't
home."
stay here.
And we went to like
Yep.
a secret bar that had like a bookshelf entrance in the city over, and they were just like, "Yeah, man, don't even. waste your time. We're so over it over here. So I thought that was very funny to find out, especially since Salem is such an old, like the witch hunt has been
Um,
such an old thing since especially since Hocus Pocus came
mhm.
out. They've been dealing with that since the '90s, maybe longer. So,
But we
um,
did go to the torture museum.
yeah, yeah, I said that earlier.
Oh,
That was one of your favorite parts too. So that's why I was
yeah,
surprised that you put
for
it
sure.
in C.
Hmm.
All right, next up, Missouri. Good
I like
old
Branson.
Branson.
I'm gonna give Branson uh, Bessie.
B.
Yeah, I really liked where we stayed in Branson. I really liked the amusement park we went to.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it wasn't an amusement park, but the light park where they had all the Christmas lights. And I think we did some like drive-throughs of some Christmas lights, and I really enjoyed the time that we spent there, and I really like. It was kind of like we stayed at like a haunted hotel mansion that wasn't really supposed to be that. It was supposed to be like luxury, but it just gave like haunted hotel mansion, which was very cool. But it was right off of a lake. The lake was kind of eerie, but it was really cool. I enjoyed the time. I'm gonna give it a B. I really liked our time at Branson. I don't know if there was anything else that we would do there. I probably wouldn't. I don't think we would go back.
Yeah.
Um, but I put it at C tier. I'll
C.
give it C.
Damn.
I'm giving it B. But C is not bad to me. If I give something a D or an F, that's bad. But I
Yeah.
didn't think it was bad. I enjoyed I enjoyed the time there. I wouldn't put it in A for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe B. Maybe B. I'll give it B.
Okay. Missouri was interesting. I'm gonna give it a low A, surprisingly, actually. And the reason why
What?
is because I think that Branson edged out Salem. And if Salem is B, I have to give Missouri A because we went to Salem expecting like the biggest Halloween city ever. And we did get that, but between it closing late and it being like slightly underwhelming, it kind of didn't live up. Um, but Missouri, Branson, Missouri, there was absolutely no reason to go except their festival for Christmas. And I feel like Salem, the only reason to go is really Halloween. So if we went to Salem and we had a good time at Halloween and we were like slightly underwhelmed, I feel like Branson was the opposite. It was like, what the hell is in Branson? And then the festival was insanely cool, you know. And as you know, Christmas is also my favorite holiday. So this festival, which had a million lights, and you can just go like that, exceeded expectations, you know. And it was kind of
That was really cool.
yeah.
That's what made it B tier to me.
Y-
Is that because everything else outside of that isn't that where we went? Were we in Branson when we went to uh that bar that the people were offering us food and stuff?
Was it? I'm
They
about to click through it.
the person gave us a drink.
The cheeky
We
monkey.
walked in and I drank it. Yeah, and you didn't drink it.
Yep. Survival skills of a chicken tender.
Shut up.
Yes, it was. Yeah, the cheeky monkey. That was it. But I
Okay,
mean, like Branson had
that
some.
was cool. That was cool too.
I feel like the thing with Branson for me, and that's what puts it at like a low A, was we had really no reason to go out there except for this festival of lights, and that lived up. So the festival of lights was great, you know. And if we were to compare it to Salem, Festival of Lights was better than
Oh,
Halloween. And then
okay.
on
I'm
top
giving
of
it a
that,
strong B.
you got the Mirror Maze. You got the VR. Um, wait, hang on.
Oh
You got
yeah,
the giant gingerbread houses. You got
and we
the
did a helicopter ride.
We got
Okay.
the Mirror
Okay, you might be
Maze.
onto something. You
You
might be
got
onto
the
something.
you got the Titanic Oh no, the VR game. You got the Titanic maze where we got to walk through the
Okay, we can go
Titanic,
A.
and then
I'm
on
with
top
you.
of that, the mini golf.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So again, not a place I would go back to. I feel like we 100% it. The downfall was we came at an ugly time in the season. You know, there was a bunch of forests and stuff that I'm sure is beautiful during the year and fall, but we came for Christmas, so it was in this
You're
weird.
you're right. Hey, don't stop it
Yeah.
right there. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Hey,
Um.
sorry.
Yeah. So I think that it edges out Salem because Salem had expectations and this didn't, and this exceeded
Agreed.
them, whereas
Agreed.
Salem was a
Agreed.
little underwhelming. So I'm gonna go
I give
ahead
it low
and
A. I'll give it low A too.
let's
You're
go
right.
Branson.
Hey,
All right,
hey, hey,
Montana,
hey, hey.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. That was a beautiful trip.
Yellowstone was beautiful. We got the Buffalo Bar where we thought we were gonna be chased out with pitchforks, and it turned out, again,
That
damn
you
man,
just thought I was pretty.
yeah, and I think gay people must like us. I think we have a good aura, because we were getting stared at by these dudes, and we were like, oh, they had like the checkered red jackets on. They looked like lumberjacks, and then after staring at us for 10 minutes, dude walked up and he was like, "Girl, you are so pretty," and I was like, "Oh, thank Jesus."
Right.
um,
Give Yellowstone. I have to give it an A
how come? Just how pretty it was?
because it was so pretty. I drove through a snowstorm, but the viewpoints that we stopped at, it was just breathtaking everywhere we stopped. And then we sat at this lake, this like you remember when we pulled to the side, like near the bridge, and
Mm-hmm.
we got out at this really cool lake. It was just so many viewpoints there that it's worth going just for the views. And it was pretty. I think I cooked at the house a few times, but it snowed and we were really looking for the snow. And then this the animal sanctuary. We got to see
Yep.
bears and animals and stuff like that. So
That's
that was
that's
really
this is
yeah.
why it's an A for me. I would say I would have given it a
Mhm.
strong B because, like I said, the places that are mostly scenic and for views um, are typically very relaxing. But I like the activities and all that stuff, and the fact that we was hanging out with bears, um, wolves, otters. That that counts for quite a bit. Like wildlife counts for quite a bit. Shout out to New Orleans in the chat. We just put New Orleans. Yeah, Louisiana is S tier. I'm gonna go ahead and put Montana A tier.
This was the best way to see a bear for the first time.
Yeah, for real. Um, this one is gonna be an easy one. Let me make sure this isn't okay. I was like, I know this ain't the quality that we uploaded it at. That was okay. Yeah, much better. Let's go with Nevada.
I'm giving Vegas an S tier.
Vegas is just, I mean, Vegas is great.
Vegas is
Vegas
just
is
so
the
much
best.
fun.
I think once
That
you,
right there, the gunship helicopter, was
mm-hmm,
just that was everything.
yep,
And
it's also the reason why we couldn't monetize, but that's my bad.
right,
We was
that's okay.
shooting out the helicopters, shooting snipers, meow wolf, flamingos,
We haven't
go
released
karts.
adult
Oh,
the
that's
adult
right.
playground.
There's
We
an
haven't released
adult
that yet, but we gonna.
playground.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Vegas is
guns.
definitely S tier.
Meow
And the
wolf,
food
but
out there is good too.
I think this is actually the best meow wolf out too. Because it's surrounded by this place called Area 15 instead of Area 51,
Yep.
and it's just like this super trippy. Oh yeah, and you did your fashion show, white
Mm-hmm.
white booty,
Go crazy.
white
Hey.
BBL booty.
Yeah, not white BBL booty.
It kind of looked like it. Um,
Damn. Blew my wig back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time. Yeah, Vegas definitely yes
Vegas
too.
is an easy one. Um. Okay, we are leaving America.
Thought you got caught up seeing the white BBL booties. Lost your train of thought.
No, we at Greece.
Oh, what's above S tier?
Greece.
S plus?
Greece is S tier. Absolutely. Do you separate Athens, Porto, or
No,
Santorini?
it's all S tier.
Greece is, and this is why we're doing this. Not only to celebrate 30 episodes of We Trippin'. A couple of those are marathons, but we might re-celebrate when it's a real 30. Um,
Yeah.
but yes, Santorini just dropped yesterday. It's the third of our four-part series. We got Porto Rafty, we got Athens, and this is Santorini. We are dropping Mykonos in about 3 weeks. And I mean, wow, what is there to say about Greece as a whole? I don't want to. This is kind of like the preview, the promo part. What could you say about?
It just dropped. So you gotta make sure you go see it so we don't spoil everything. But
Hmm.
Greece was just every aspect, it hit the mark. Like it hit the bullseye in every aspect of every category. It's
Hmm.
just amazing.
Views, food, people, activities, everything. Tens across the board. Even even little things like the adventure in it. We went out there to meet up with the same travel group, Top Shelf. We went out a little bit earlier because I hadn't been to Europe in a very long time. I didn't really remember jet lag like that, but I think it's a 10-hour difference. And I don't know how people were landing and then going out that same night. We needed a couple of days to adjust,
We
and
slept for
then
16 hours.
16 hours sleep, yeah. Which in retrospect is like, damn, that's that's tough. How do you plan a vacation when you have to you have to like, figure out the sleep time when you get
We
there and
planned
back.
that though. We planned that.
Exactly. So the adventure part was kind of just pulling up to a place we knew nothing about. We found it on the internet, just like little hidden gems in Greece, and yeah, it was first spot was called Portal Rafty, and it was just a tiny harbor, like a little harbor shop.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, ain't no ads running on
Good
this.
time. Good time. Good time. Uh oh. Do we need to go check this?
Yep, I was like, yeah, ads played before all of these. Where's the Porto ads?
I'm scared.
Um,
Okay, I'm gonna go check.
but yeah, we was in up in there eating. Um, we had an insane Airbnb with an infinity pool. We had Greece in the background. We had Steph in the foreground. We had an infinity pool.
Hmm.
Um, it was just great, and the fact that it was like a place we had never even planned on going, kind of added to the adventure. And then Athens was like that place that you kind of always heard about. Oh, again, no ads. Um, but Athens was like we didn't stay too long, but it was just beautiful to see the temples, the Acropolis, the fact that this was just in the background. Look, it looks like I'm on a green screen, but this was just in the back, a giant mountain with a big old temple, or it just looked like the shit that be on the dollar bills. But yeah, it was just like a surreal spot. You feel like you're in God of War. Like you remember when Kratos was fighting and all these places were being destroyed. That's this.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, it says it's monetized, so
all three.
yeah, yeah. Well,
I wonder
Greece
why.
is, yeah, yeah, yeah. Athens,
I
Santorini is,
wonder
and
why. Um,
Porto viewable by 18 and over.
but yeah, I mean, I just wanted take a walk through memory lane, travel lane.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna see so much more travel content on the We Trippin' page, the Thick Thread page. I'm definitely gonna be posting a lot more of the travel stuff on my personal page, and yeah, I think that you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with this backlog. If there's any of these episodes
Absolutely.
that you guys missed, or if there's any of these cities that we talked about that piques your interest, even I would really recommend if you want to binge We Trippin', click through the cities that you know nothing about. You know that's the point of the show. Obviously, we have an amazing Miami episode. We have an amazing, you know, what's a random episode? Vegas, you know, we know you guys know a lot about that, and I want you guys to watch those too. But you know, it's the little ones. You know, check out our Maryland episode. You know, we where we get stranded. Check out
Man, just put the whole playlist on and
just put
just
the whole
clean up
playlist.
the house, do the laundry, do the dishes,
Mm-hmm.
hang out with the kids. Just let it play in the background.
Yeah.
Mm, or occasionally peek at it, but Pat especially put a lot of work into making sure the editing is the way it is and making sure it's all good to go. It's he spent a lot of time. So I gotta give you your accolades.
Yes. Thank you. I
Congratulations to us, but you did an excellent job with making sure it came out the way it's coming out.
Thank you. Definitely got to give a huge shout out to our longtime editor, Dito, aka Dito Matic. I've been working with him since the beginning of We Trippin'. He's been cutting together all of these, and he's just really good. He's just really fucking good. And we've kind of developed a very cool style. I was actually really surprised when Steph told me earlier today that we had 30 episodes out, because I always thought that because we have so many in the can, and I was really just taking my time with them, making sure they were good, and spent a lot of time on development. And I always wondered if they came out at a too slow of a pace. But I actually I'm very surprised at how many are out, and I'm actually excited to be dropping the way we are. We're definitely picking up the pace now. I think that little things like separating the wrap up into its own live, that plays a big part of it. You know, basically including the Patreon in on this, and showing exclusive parts of the trip. You know, a lot of we got a lot of like stuff we had to cut out because we was lit, you know, or we was eating monstrously and stuff, you know, or a bunch
We're
of
gonna add some of that on Patreon.
yeah,
So
we gonna
make
drop
sure
that on
y'all pull up to the
Patreon.
Patreon.
Some of
Yep.
the little parties or bars we went to that had a whole bunch of music that we can't use. All that's going to Patreon, exclusive early access stuff. So how we're dropping now, I feel like is gonna be how we're going to continue to drop. So I'm excited that we hung on to some of these things because yeah, if we had dropped Grease too early, or you know, ran through our back catalog, we would have been in a completely different space now. So I'm really excited that Grease is dropped. I hope you guys can go and catch up on the series, but also
Yeah.
just watch through it. You guys saw some. I wish I was.
You'll love
Honestly,
it.
I wish I was clicking through the show
It's gonna make
this
you
whole
wanna
time.
go.
Yeah, I didn't start clicking through the show until like damn until Carlsbad.
There's a
I
commercial. There's a commercial.
didn't get to show you guys anything until like Wyoming and Idaho. I don't know. I guess I thought we were gonna copyright ourselves. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I hope you guys get a chance to hop off of this live and jump into Santorini if you need to catch up on the
Yeah.
Greece series or just on We Trippin', period. But other than that, yeah, I just happy 30th We Trippin',
30th.
and
Thank you for having me on.
yeah, thank you for pulling up and sharing y'all insight. And yeah, just get ready for more We Trippin'. We got Mykonos coming in 3 weeks, and I am gonna be
Mykonos.
posting. You don't understand how much travel stuff I'm about to start posting on my page.
Heck yeah.
If it looks like I'm a gamer now, it's gonna look like I'm Carmen San Diego in about a week.
I'll tell you
Um,
where in the world.
but I appreciate y'all for hanging out. I am starving, and I'm gonna
Thank
grab something to
you.
eat. I thought I was gonna play video games, but we have been talking about traveling for 2 hours
Yes,
and 30
hours.
minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, I was talking for quite a bit before you jumped on. I didn't realize how much I traveled
Chat.
before we
Who's in the
tripping.
chat?
But yeah, W's in the chat. Thank you everybody
Thank
on
you.
YouTube. Thank you for everybody on
Thank
Twitch,
you.
everybody on TikTok, everybody on Facebook. Thank you for everybody who stuck around after that raid. Shout out to Lean and Cuisine, and shout out to We Trippin'. I hope you guys check it out. And I'll see y'all niggas later. I'm gonna start doing this more Planet Sliders. I might have
Yep.
to hit up my boy for another for a Planet Slider image. But
Yep.
I'll see y'all later. Peace.